Good morning, Candace.
Good morning.
Hello, everybody. The tables have turned today. Candace has been interviewing our practitioners that reside with us at Northcote Natural Therapies, and this time we have decided to flip it onto her, and I'll be interviewing Candace today. So for anybody that doesn't know me, I work for Candace. I have done so for the last nearly 3 years now. I work in the front of the store at Northcote Natural Therapies, so mainly in the retail space, but I also interact with the practitioners and do a lot of our social media. So yes, I've got the lucky pleasure of interviewing this beautiful woman today. So shall we get into it then?
Let's.
Well, I will introduce Candace for anyone that hasn't met her, which I'm thinking there's probably not anyone around that hasn't heard of her by now. Candace is a naturopath. Actually, let me just get a breath because there's a lot of things that I've got to list here. So Candace Borg, naturopath, natural fertility educator, HypnoBirthing practitioner, biomedical scientist, and is the owner of Northcote Natural Therapies, along with One Leaf organic at a time, organic teas, and purely vegan skincare range. So she's not as promoting of those brands as she should be, but they are beautiful, beautiful teas and beautiful, beautiful skincare. And along with all of the other things that she does, she's a very, very busy woman. So Candace uses a range of herbal and nutritional medicine and lifestyle counselling to address both simple and more complex issues that people may be dealing with. So she has broad knowledge of nutrition and medicine, it gives her that beautiful, unique perspective that a lot of people, if I might say, don't have, because you can see both sides and you've got both sides of knowledge. So it makes it very unique for people when they come and sit in front of you to be able to have that your background knowledge to give them. So yes, she has broad range of knowledge in nutrition and medicine. As a vegan, she's able to advise vegans and vegetarians on specific requirements for those lifestyles, but is equally able to advise everyone, regardless of their dietary direction, on their individual nutritional requirements. Candace is an active member of the Melbourne Naturopathic community. She regularly presents at organisations and medical conferences. Her passion is to support and guide individuals to have the best possible outcomes through natural approaches. So Candace, we'd like to hear from you. In your words, what is naturopathy?
Well, naturopathy is just a unique form of healthcare where a naturopath looks at not only dietary issues that a person might be having and how that particular diet might be influencing their health and what their lifestyle is like and how that's influencing their health, as well as the medical condition itself. So people can come in with a range of health conditions, and we would look at both what their lifestyle, what their diet's like, what supplements they may need, look at their blood tests and see what they may be deficient in or what their body might be struggling to absorb, and give them then a personalised medical treatment after that. And, so I could have 5 people that come in with migraines, but I might give 5 different treatments because migraine might be blood sugar related, one might be hormonal related, one might be a neurological disorder. So the cause of each particular migraine may be different, and that would steer in the direction of what diet advice, lifestyle advice, medications I might give.
Yeah, so it makes it pretty individual and very specific to who's sitting in front of you, because we're all different, right? We've all got different, like you said, different lifestyles. We're all got different genetic makeup, different influences. So I guess, like for me also, like that's what I find very unique about naturopathy is that it's super, super specific to that person right in front of you, and you're treating the person in front of you. And I think it makes it really beautiful.
Because the condition itself might just be symptoms of other things that's going on. So we try to assess what's the causative factors. If we drill right down, what was the thing that started this cascade, and how can we fix that, or how can we address that? How can we manage that? We may not be able to fix it, but can we support it, and can we lessen those side effects or those symptoms?
So Tell us the story of how you got into naturopathy then.
Oh, well, I was actually studying a biomedical degree, and then from that was getting into medicine. And the after I finished my biomedical degree, it takes a year to get into medicine. You have to sit an exam and then go for interviews, and then you get in for the following year. And during that year, I decided to work at Royal Melbourne Hospital because that's where I wanted to be. So I might as well get my foot in the door and start there. And I quickly decided I didn't want to do medicine anymore. I worked everywhere at Royal Melbourne, but during that year, I worked predominantly in the cardiovascular side of things. So people coming in for bypasses and stents put in and all of that kind of stuff. And really saw how the medical system had failed them in a way, that they'd had blood tests done that showed high cholesterol, they were overweight sometimes not. But there were certain blood tests that you could see year after year after year after year that was indicating that this could be an outcome for them if they didn't change something. And then nothing got changed, and then they have to have this major operation. So I said to my sister, actually, she's the reason I'm a naturopath, because I was due to apply for my interviews and I left it up to the last day. And she said, why haven't you applied yet? And I said, oh, my heart's not in it. I don't think I want to become a doctor anymore, but I don't know what I want to do. And she said, why don't you become a naturopath? And I said, what's that? What do they do? I didn't even know what chamomile tea was. So I was like, I don't know what that is. And
Seems rather impossible to believe now, but yes.
I have a tea company. Quite impossible to believe. But no, I didn't know. And so I had an appointment with a naturopath, and I went, oh yeah, that sounds more like what I want to do. And I researched it, and I applied. I got accepted. Back when I was doing naturopathy, you actually had to apply, and they assessed your scores as to whether you were kind of worthy to get into the course. And I got in, and I remember my very first class, and I sat down and, in this really strange environment. And I remember just feeling like I finally found home. My first class happened to be a class that was talking about natural medicines and other forms of natural medicine, like massage therapy, myotherapy, physiotherapy, all of those. And I just remember thinking, this is who I am. This is why we were the first house to recycle on the street. This is why I use natural skincare. This is why I feel so passionately about diet and health, and I found my home.
So that why that you just said, what was it in that moment that really connected with you? What made sense about it to you? What felt like home about it? What was the why behind all of those other things, the natural skincare and the recycling? Like, what did it speak to within you?
Because I found people that cared.
Mm-hmm.
My family recycled because I wanted them to, even up until my mum's last day, getting her to put the right bottle in the right bin was issue. But when I lived at home, she did because I forced her, and that kind of, what I mean, like it just wasn't a habit of hers or a interest of hers. Same with natural skincare and natural perfumes and essential oils, and that just wasn't in my family. So I sat down and I was listening to people saying why you should use these things and why they are important for health. And I'm like, oh, these are my people. I finally found people that don't think I'm a hippie or, don't think I'm strange for wanting to do these things, but actually feel the same way. So that was my home moment.
Yay. Thank you for the home moment. Thank you for all of us. Okay, so I've been lucky enough to sit in front of you and have consultations with you, but one of the biggest questions I get asked in the front of the store when people are inquiring about seeing you is what to expect. How long a consultation goes for, what does it look like, what happens, like people sort of want to know in that first moment, like what happens, what does it look like, what do I do? So explain for anyone that may not have seen a naturopath before and this is completely new to them, what does it look like in a consult with you, what happens?
So an initial consultation usually goes for an hour. And within that hour, we go through a thorough medical history. So everything up until this point of your life, what have you been through medically? What your current reason for coming in is. So sometimes people come in with a condition, sometimes they just want to have their diet reviewed or just make sure that they're kind of eating the right foods. So then obviously we address the current issue, what's brought them in. I would go through any blood tests that they've had done in the last kind of 12 to 18 months, any ultrasound reports, any scans, anything like that that they come in with. We will discuss them as well and go through them. I can do some physical examinations too, like blood pressure or listening to the lungs, looking in the ears, looking at the tongue, looking in the eyes, that kind of stuff. And that's it really. Then we, at the end of the hour, after I've asked lots of wonderful and weird questions about their body, then we
Fun part.
Exactly. And then we discuss what treatment options are best for them. So whether they want to focus more dietary, whether I feel like they need some kind of support from a supplementary point of view, then we discuss what the best option is for them so that it's easy and it's affordable and it's doable. I'm not one to take a lot of supplements, so I don't give out a lot of supplements because I feel like if I'm not compliant, but no one else, well, I'm sure people are much more compliant than I am, but I would like it to be a collaborative thing. If they don't like tablets, we won't give tablets. If they have trouble swallowing them, then let's not do them. Let's focus more on liquids or powders. So it's a very, the appointment is very collaborative because I'm here to help you. And if there's something that you don't like or there's something that you're not going to do, then there's no point in me suggesting it because you're not going to get the best outcome from that.
Yeah, for sure. Totally agree. I think, yeah, I mean, we come to people like you for the guidance, but like you said, that if there's non-compliance, well, then it's a complete waste of your time and their time. Yeah, which is definitely key, which I think that's something that we highlight as well whenever anyone asks, is that you really develop that bond with who you're seeing. And I think that's what they resonate with you a lot with, is that it's that really building of that relationship between the two of you, because it's not just you giving, do this, and then them walking away. It really becomes like a teamwork effort, which is really lovely.
Absolutely. And it's not even, because if we don't find the right thing, that it's wasting my time or wasting their time, but it's more that they've come for a reason and I want to support that reason. So in whichever best way we can do that, then why wouldn't we, and we have lots of laughs along the way and there's lots of jokes. It's not really, sit down and be super serious. And of course we get all the information that we need, but a lot of the times people tell more about their health when they tell the story about their health and what might have been happening at that time when this thing developed or this started, and that can sometimes give us a bit of pointers too as to why they're feeling the way that they're feeling. So it's and I want them to feel as comfortable as I want to feel too. When you see a practitioner, I think that if there's at any time you feel really uncomfortable, then you might not be your most open self. And I think it's really, really important that no matter what age you are, what nationality you are, what gender you identify with, that as long as you feel comfortable, then we can have a really great, strong relationship and build that health.
Yeah, it's lovely. So another question that I personally get asked a lot also in the front of the store is, I'm experiencing this, or I suffer from this. Can she help me? What can naturopathy help with?
Oh, well, everything.
Yeah.
Next question. No, look, because our diets do play such a role in our health, they will influence to some degree every medical condition that there is, so and often, people will come to me and they're taking X amount of supplements, or they've been to a health food shop or whatever, and they've got this regime, but they're still not getting better. And that might be the quality of the supplements, or it might be that they're actually taking the wrong thing for them, you know. At the moment, you know, we stock 3 different iron supplements because there's an iron supplement for this woman, and there's an iron supplement for this person, and there's an iron supplement for this. So sometimes it's just really tweaking that, what that person actually needs and what nutrients that is. So yeah, what does it help with? Well, I mean, I don't feel like there's been any medical condition that has crossed my path that we haven't helped in some way. Obviously there's some that you can't resolve, but even by reducing inflammation, reducing pain, or managing pain better. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with everything.
So yeah, yes, that's kind of like what I get stumped when someone asks me that, because I'm like, I don't think there's anything she can't help with. There's always something that can be done. So yeah, given that, then would you say that there is something that you specialize in?
Yeah, look, I would say, I mean, I love seeing everything. I just want to preface with that. I love getting a variety of things that walk through my door. One, for the challenge as well. Like if it's something that I haven't seen before or haven't seen in a while, then I really love that. But to say what I specialize in, mental health, definitely. I've been through my own mental health journey and have supported myself through that many years ago now, but I feel very comfortable with that. I wrote my thesis on naturopathy and depression, so I feel it was called a thesis at our uni, but it was a research project. It was 10,000 words on depression. Anyway, so I feel really comfortable in that mental health space. I feel really comfortable as well in the fertility space. So, and I mean, they're my passions as well. My passion is mental health and supporting people's fertility to ensure that they can have the best kind of fertile outcomes. That's what kind of led me down the path of running birthing classes as well. So they would definitely be my 2 specialities. But like I said, and with fertility comes all the menstrual health in that, you know, so whether you're trying to fall pregnant or trying to avoid falling pregnant, it's the same thing. It's just opposite, you know. You still need to know exactly what your cycle's doing and have a really healthy cycle for you to manage that one way or another. So they're definitely my 2 key things.
Lovely. And very important, especially at the moment. I feel like mental health is becoming quite prevalent, and also women in their cycles. And actually a thread onto that, I would say that speaking to fertility, it's also not just the female. When we hear fertility, a lot of people think that it's just about the female's fertility, but you've assisted many males in assisting with their fertility as well, and that it's not just the female side of things.
Absolutely. Fertility is a 2-way street, you know, so making sure that the man is as fertile as the woman is super important, or assisting with IVF or reproductive procedures. I feel very comfortable in that space. I really like it. It's you know, it's quite a nice outcome that you get from helping people in that space. And of course, as I said before, you know, naturopathy helps with everything. I would never promise that I could fix anything or even that I could assist anything, but time has proven thus far that there's always something you can tweak in a person's health to make their health somewhat better. No matter what that condition is.
Well, in the years and years and years of practicing, have there been many standout moments, or is there 1 or 2 moments, or some of your favorite moments that you would maybe like to share with us?
Oh, wow. I feel like the list is really long.
I feel like every day is like there's a fun surprise or some kind of happy ending for you every day.
Yeah, I would say, like, to really narrow it down, getting an ultrasound picture of someone who has gone through numerous cycles of IVF unsuccessfully, has given up on IVF, and then within a few months or so has fallen pregnant. That's got a be up there. Equally up there, someone who was suicidal when they first came to see me and is now running mental health workshops and seminars on how to improve health, or has become, a meditation instructor or something like that, seeing their journey of going from one depth to the other side. That's really, really heartwarming. And other standout moments are presenting at the NHAA conference last year. That was awesome. Last year presented at NHAA conference, the Australasian Lifestyle Medicine conference, there was a few.
It was a big year.
Yeah, so they were amazing standout moments. I loved presenting. I always do love presenting, and I've presented for years, but the NHAA conference and the Australasian Lifestyle Medicine conference, they would be my really proud moments too.
Before we close out, please share a fun fact with us, if you can, please. Or something that we might not know about you.
Something that you don't know about me. Oh wow. Well, I own a skincare and tea company. We've said that. I was studying medicine. We said that too. What else is another fun fact about me? I have a rescue kelpie from ALB that rescued my kelpie, and a dear friend of mine, his friend who rescued a kitten. That kitten is now 4, Winston. So that's another fun fact, which I don't know if it's a fun fact, but it's a really important fact in my heart, that I was my mother's carer for a couple of years and really supported her through that journey. And I feel really proud and blessed that I had that. My mum had cancer, for those that don't know, and I supported her through that journey. That's a fun fact about me. I like colouring. That's a fun fact.
Actually, didn't know that.
I do.
That's a fun fact. I didn't know that.
Jigsaw puzzles, they're my kind of go-to things to relax.
Amazing.
Yeah, so
lovely.
Childlike in their ways, but
yeah, no, beautiful. Well, is there anything that you feel that we haven't covered, or any kind of important points that you would like to highlight, either about naturopathy in general, or you specifically about your practice? We should point out that at the moment you're practicing on Thursdays and Sundays. Which is really helpful for people. People are very surprised when we say Sundays and availability, and it seems to work really well. Is there anything else that you would like to point out or highlight, or something that we haven't really covered?
Well, firstly, we are recording this on the 23rd of April 2020, pandemic section of the world in history.
Hence why I'm not beside you.
Exactly. So at the moment doing phone or Zoom consultations for those that need them. So that's important, but generally prefer face-to-face when we're allowed to be face-to-face. Also, if you're looking to book in with a naturopath, just go to an association like nhaa.org.au and search for people who are qualified. There's a lot of naturopaths out there, or with every profession, there's people that are more qualified than others. So be sure to pick someone who is under a reputable organisation, so that you know that they have to keep up with their professional development per year, and they have to have a certain amount of education and knowledge to even be under that association. I think that's really, really important. The other thing that I would say is really important is to contact the person that you're thinking of seeing and see if you have a rapport with them. If I get this a lot being vegan, and of course I actually see more non-vegans than vegans, but I have a lot of vegans that come to see me because they've seen other people who aren't vegan and aren't supportive of that lifestyle. So if you have a particular condition, or even a particular lifestyle choice, then it might be worth contacting a person that you're interested in seeing and just see if they are supportive of that, or if they've treated that before, just to make sure that you're feeling, you know, you get the best bang for your buck, really, and you get to see the person who you think is going to be the most useful for you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So for anyone that would like to book an appointment with you, we are sending them to your website, which is www.candaceborg.com, and all of the information about your services are there, information about yourself and a lot of what we've talked about. A little bit of extra information is on the website for people that would like to read through that a little bit more in depth, and like you said, really building that rapport and getting to know about who you are, and they can reach out to you through the contact on the website. And for anyone that is on Instagram and social media, which everybody is these days, to follow you at Candace Borg Vegan Naturopath. And I think that'd be it.
Yeah,
Is
the
there
only thing I'll say about that is that I'm a Candace with an A, so Candace.
Oh, yes, and not with an I.
With an I. And there's a fun fact. So I was named after Candace Bergen. Anyone that ever watched Murphy Brown, my dad,
I know that.
Candace Bergen, so I'm named after her. But she's with an I, and my dad didn't want ice in my name, so he called me. So there you go.
So that's a good way to remember how to spell your name, the ACE, because you're Ace. Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing your time with us today and explaining to all of us about your lovely modality and how beneficial it can be for all of us. Yes.
Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll catch you around soon.
Yay. Bye.
So.